clear.
All right, we are recording. This is Mary Louise Zeller in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'd like to welcome Troy Radin, who is a new leader in Kyani and doing exactly the right thing of bringing his people to a Quickstart training. So this is the beginning of several trainings. We have leadership trainings and we have compensation plan in detail trainings that you're going to gird up your loins with patience to be able to endure learning the compensation plan in detail. But we will do that. And so let's get started. And, you know, Kyani is different. And that's kind of the slogan going on around the world. I go to Taiwan and people, they, in their accent, they'll say in English, Kyani is different. You know, so the truth is that it is. We have a different plan. You do not have to worry about everything that has never worked in the network marketing industry. Like, how about breakaways? You produce a leader, that leader is so successful, they surpass your rank or your volume, and you lose them to the next biggest leader up above you. I think that's a very poor reward for producing a leader. Kyani does none of that. We don't have breakage either. And that means commissions could get paid, but the plan is actually designed with so many qualifying loopholes that most people don't make it. So Kyani is not designed for you to miss it like other plans are actually designed for you to miss it. Kyani is designed for you to make it. So it is a work ethic based plan. You get rewarded. The more work you do, the more money you make. Isn't that an interesting new novel idea? So it doesn't depend on any levels. It doesn't depend on structures. It doesn't depend on when you got in, what position do you have. It depends on your work ethic. So I've been working with Kyani for 6.5 years. My first year, not even really expecting it to be different from any other company. I worked 1 to 2 hours a day. I made $75,000 that year as a medical professional and biologist, worked in cancer diagnosis and research for about 25 years. I made good salaries. I mean, I was making $50,000 a year 40 years ago. That's still a good salary today, but I never made $75,000 in a year. My husband's done that and more, but I never had, working an 8-hour a day job 5 days a week. And so I did that my first year. And then I got pretty serious about it. I thought, wow, I think I'm going to do a little more. My second year, I doubled it. I made 150,000. My third year, I almost doubled it to 87. My fourth year, I was $450,000 that year. Now I'm in the upper 5% of earners in the world. And then my fifth year, I hit Purple Diamond, held it, got a $100,000 bonus, so I made $677 that year. And then last year made about $720,000. And I just keep advancing. I've grown this organically from ground zero. I really have not had this kind of success in the industry. I've tried. I had a little bit of success with one company 20 years ago, and really didn't realize it was an antiquated stair-step breakaway. Had a little success because I happened to be one of the first people in. Yet I couldn't empower anybody else to do what I'd done. Whereas with Kyani, I lost count of over 100 people in my organization who earned the car. I have almost 100 people now down in Mexico and Honduras and Colombia who have earned a car in an area of the world where the average income is, well, in Mexico it's a little higher, about $800 a month. Honduras, the average is $300 a month. In Colombia, about $500 a month. These people are making, you know, 10,000 and up. So totally life-changing. So this works if we work. So I'm going to talk to you now about how to work, but I'd first like to welcome you to the most dynamic team. We are one of the, I think, the fastest growing team in the company, in one of the most revolutionary companies in network marketing history, because we have 3 products that are life-changing. So we have the highest retention ever recorded in the history of the industry. We have over 60% for 5 years. And that's because the products work, and it's also because the company works. and the plan works. When people make money, they stay in the game. People call me now. It's really interesting, but try to enroll me in other companies, and I go, I'm married. Don't bother. Don't waste your time. I'm making too much money with Kyani. Forget it. So this is really the only one. I would never want to do this again. So for people who've had companies go bankrupt, companies who are corrupt, companies who change the plan and take everything away that you built, um, you're not going to find that in Kyani. I've known our owners for 6.5 years. I've been to their homes. The only time they've ever changed anything in the plan was to give us a whole lot more. And their commitment is to make Kyani um, the biggest and best for the distributors. I always thought, given only 2% made life-changing income in the industry, still has produced more millionaires than any other industry, but only 2%, less than 2% of the people were those special few. And I always thought, gee, if anybody could find a way to empower the other 98%, maybe everyone would make more money. And that's exactly what Kyani has done, is to make it available for anybody who will do the work and go after it. So this business plan is a proven system. It's simple, and you know what? It gets the job done. So that's why we want to train you in it. It's the number you want to think about is 3. Our plan pays on 3 legs. You're not limited to 3. Anybody who knows money and numbers, you would know that 4 by 4 by 4 by 4 is a whole lot more money as it grows out exponentially than 3 by 3 by 3. But the computer is going to group your legs. It actually doesn't say your largest leg and the second largest and the smallest. It says your power leg, your biggest leg, and then the other legs outside your power leg, and the second biggest leg outside your power leg, and then it'll group the rest of them together. So this plan pays on 3. So I recommend starting off with 3. Maybe you have the ability to manage more than that. I think it's hard to manage more than that. You would make more money if you did 4 by 4 or 5 by 5. You would make more money. But we're saying we're going to recommend you start with 3 legs. You don't even need 3 legs till you get up to the rank of Sapphire. That's going to be about 180 to 100 people in your organization. But I recommend starting with 3. So you want to look, and we'll talk about that, making a list and then prioritizing the list. So we want you to first think of, you're going to make a plan. You're going to create this list of potential customers and distributors, and then you're going to take massive action. So results are linked to action, and we're going to try to empower you to take powerful action. So people talk about practice makes perfect. I'm a coach. That is not true. Perfect practice makes perfect. So you need a coach to teach you what are the correct actions to practice, and that's what will get you the championship. Okay? So we're going to talk about being a Jade machine. So your first rank is Jade. So you want to think about running to Jade in 31 days. And what does that take? I recommend you coming in at the 569. It's the middle of the road business builder pack. You're going to get product for yourself. You're going to get samples that you can indeed sell to people. People often don't value something you give to them. So you might sell a 7-day trial pack for $25. You've gotten your money back and made $5 on it. Some people sell them for as much as $40. I would say 30, 35. It would be very reasonable. 40 is a little higher than wholesale, but you could get your money back on all these samples. You're going to get a lot of samples. The products work, so getting people started on the samples are going to get people wanting to have more money. I mean, wanting people to have more product, and they're going to enroll either as a customer or come in and do this business with you. Okay, so you come in at that 569 pack. That 569 pack carries with it commissionable volume, and it also carries with it qualifying volume for rank. That's what you want to focus on in achieving your ranks. And like I said, your first rank is Jade. Actually, your first rank is Garnet. That just means you got your first 3. But the first rank of consequence is Jade. That's 2,000 points. If you have 400 qualifying volume points per package of 569, then it's you and 4 more. So let's say you get your 3. They come in at that 569, and one of their people gets 1. That counts for your ranks. So placement tree counts for your ranks and counts for your commissionable volume. So this is a very, very cooperative plan. So perhaps like Troy comes in, he gets his 3, and one of his 3 gets 1, and then he'll get another one, and instead of starting a 4th leg, he'll go down and plug that new person in and one of the other legs, and that volume counts for their commissionable volume and their qualifying volume for everybody upline. Okay, so you get to Jade in 31 days. What do you get? You qualify for that $600 worth of extra bonuses. So you're making your sponsorship bonuses on those packages every week, and you're making weekly bonuses for customers and etc. Then you're also going to get commissionable volume your second month, but you're going to get an extra the very week after you qualify for Jade. The next week you're going to receive a $100 check. You maintain Jade or go higher your second month. I would say if you're producing a Jade factory, that everybody you come in, you want them on this plan, you produce a Jade factory, you're going to get to Pearl the next month. But if you just stay Jade or higher, you're going to get another check, $200. You hold Jade or go higher the third month, and it's going to be $600. Oh, sorry, a total of $600. You're going to get $300 that third month, and now you have a total of $600. They do not have to be consecutive months. You know, you might drop down the second month, and the third month go back up, and you will still get that $200 bonus. Okay, so the first 1, 2, 3, you want to think, make a plan, create a list, and take massive action. Now, this is a form. I'm going to send this I think I've already sent it to you, Troy. So you might send this out to people so they can train their people on it. And this is just something that you need to do for yourself, every new distributor. I also have a new distributor form that I send out. And this new distributor email, it just says how to get into your back office, how to sign a customer up, how to sign a distributor up, like that. It gives you it gives you my email and how to call the company numbers and all that kind of stuff. And this is something else like that. You need to print this out, fill it out, maybe start a notebook, some organizational system in which you keep all your information and your follow-up. Remember, fortune is in the follow-up. That's how you earn. Now, this question of why are you doing this? That's always been kind of a redundant question for me. Everybody makes such a big deal of it. Who wouldn't want to do this? Who wouldn't want something that really works? Who wouldn't want to make the kind of money I'm making? Who wouldn't want to make the difference I'm making in the quality of life for people with the products in the business? That's really my why. When I was mining down to the reason under the reason under the reason, what I got to is that who I am and what I'm about, and the only thing we take with us is who we become in the process of contributing to life and making a difference. And so who I am is elevating the quality of life for all people on the earth. And that might sound altruistic, but I'm actually doing that with Kyani. I'm helping people have a better life, and a better life with the products, a better life with this business. And it's something that really works, and something that's going to be around, I say, for generations. Kirk Hansen, our owner and founder, is already training his oldest boy in the business. You'll see him come to the conventions and leadership meetings and stuff like that. And our 2 founding families are now 3 and 4 generations. The Taylor family is 4 generations of business partnerships with the Hansen family for 3 generations. And you know, Kyani is a solid business. It's going to be here. So I would say it's, you know, I'm in the fastest growth and development phase of my entire life. I thought Taekwondo changed me. Kyani is changing me more. I'm traveling the world. I'm getting to meet people from cultures all over the world. It's causing me to grow, just the struggle of how to empower others. So I would say look and see what is your why. I mean, of course, I bought my Kyani Castle house in a down economy, self-employed. I got my loan in 1 week. Why? Because my track record is so solid. I make more than the bank president, so yeah, I want that. I want to have a really nice car. I want to have the best of life. And that's what Kyani is for me, is the best of life. So you want to look at your why. I know my friend Susan, she, her husband died and left her well off until we had that stock market crash, and she lost a lot. And her accountant's telling her now that she's only got a couple years left where she can live the lifestyle she's used to. And so she's like, gee, my friend is making a lot of money. Maybe I should have listened. She's been on the products, loves the products, but now she's really out here creating this, and I'm out here creating it with her. So I'm committed to people having the best of life, and that's why I'm doing this. So you want to know your leaders. I would suspect anybody who tries to do this on their own, now maybe you've got lots and lots of experience, but I would say even bring your experience to the team and we'll all grow more. So I would say all of us are going to do more together than any one of us alone, no matter what your experience. And I think for new people who don't have success in this industry to just be left on their own, that's pretty much why most people fail in the industry. So know your leaders. Like I say, we make sure that you know how to contact us, and we actually work this, and we have systems, and you're going to find out at the convention that the 1 week part, I've watched Kyani. I came in only a year and a half after they launched, and I've watched them really grow into this. And I've seen them, go from really packaging that was so simple and plain, it was just ugly. And they went from that to award-winning packaging and formulating their products that were life-changing to start with, made them even better. They bought this plan in February of 2010. I came in January of 29, so I got to experience a very common matrix that was based on recruitment, like many of them are. And I was a good recruiter, so I made some money. But my residual was only 1,000 when I came in with a new plan, and that residual on this basically the same volume, when the new plan came into effect, I made 3,600 residually. And then as I grew it, and got up to diamond, it just kept growing. So when we say that this plan pays 3 to 5 times more than any plan in the industry, I actually lived through that, having experienced the old plan. So you want to have a success team. So you want to know at least one upline, if not 2, 3, 4. I'm me. Mike Akagi is Mike Akagi, and people love Mike. Sometimes I relate better to him. Sometimes I relate better to Larry Barkdale or Dan Swindell, and all of us together, we help each other, because Kyani is one Kyani. We are one Kyani in the world. I know some people come in and they're kind of used to being in survival mode in the industry, and they're going to get their money and get it first, and they try to rob people from other lines and all the Team Aloha is who we are. That means family, no one left behind. And that Ohana is our slogan, family, no one left behind. So because Mike Akagi lives in Hawaii, and we live it. We don't talk it, we live it. So we're creating one Kyani. We help people. I don't care what line you're in. You're invited to all my presentations, and you can count on me to behave ethically with you. So without integrity, nothing lasts. And our owners are building Kyani to last for generations into the future. But we as distributors want to make sure that we work ethically, and we work as a team, helping everyone. And I think we'll protect this opportunity that actually works for people, our families and other people in the future, okay? So when you work with your upline's job, your job is to pique your contact's interest. You might even just say, you know what, I've started a new business. I know somebody who's having the success of their life. This business is actually a breakthrough in their industry, and they're really making an impact in the world, and they're starting to go into global momentum. We're really just opening this area. I don't know that much about it, but I'd like to put you in touch with somebody who has worked with them for a half dozen years and can really present this in a way I think you ought to look at it. And that'd be about all you have to say. Your upline's job is then to present and to really demonstrate to your contact why Kyani truly is different and a unique model in this industry. So, back to basics. Create a list of potential distributors and customers. Just go through everyone you can think of in every area and aspect of your life and make a list. Don't start to get into, well, this one might be really good at the business. This one, just make your list. And then what you're going to do is go through and prioritize this list. So you're looking for your dream team first. So now you want to go, now, here's a number one. You would have put me on number two. I was good at some things, but I wouldn't call myself a business-minded person. My husband called my martial arts studio my service project, and because I was always taking kids to competitions and spending everything I earned on that. So I wouldn't have called myself a business-minded person, but I did have influence. I was recognized as a world-class competitor. I was recognized as a world-class coach. And so people had a certain amount of respect for what I'd accomplished. I was driven to succeed, and I'm friendly. So I had some of those number one qualities, but I would have classified myself as a number two. I would have been somebody more interested in the products and what the products could give me than I would have been in the business, because I didn't have much respect for network marketing. But you have people maybe who are in the insurance business. They know the value of residual income. They're community leaders. They're people who have achieved a certain level of success. Some people would actually have to gulp a couple of times before tackling them. You want those people on your A list, your number ones. And you'd be surprised if they're really good at business, they're going to recognize Kyani. And if they're negative about the industry, you might agree with them and say, yeah, well, you've got good reason to be, but it still has produced more millionaires. And this one is kind of like what iPad did for the computing industry. It really reinvented it, redefined it. It was a landmark event in the computing industry. It totally changed the computing industry forever. So, well, for a long while. But it was a new model in the industry. And that's what this company is, and that's what they're doing, and they're actually doing it right. You need to look at it. So when you talk to people, people are going to listen. They're going to throw their negativity at you. They're going to see, sometimes it's a fun game for them to see if they can throw you off your game. So you want to stand strong. In the martial arts, we have strong stances where you can withstand an attack. And, I'm so solid in this company, there really isn't anything you could say to discourage me. Even in the beginning, once I read the research on the products and had the experience of them in my own body and started seeing others have the results that they're having, now I've got 6.5 years of those results from people all over the world. It still amazes me. I've never seen anything in allopathic medicine be able to produce the results that these three products produce. So, it's just simply impossible to throw me off my game. You need to stand strong in people's negativity about the industry and keep saying, I know, Kyani's different. They really are. It was only Mike Akagi. I told Mike Akagi no, probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. And it was just to help him out that I did this in the first place. And thank goodness he wouldn't accept my no, because this is the one that worked. Okay. So you want to go through your list and prioritize and then take massive action. I speak fluent Spanish. I'm really glad I studied Spanish because I've been opening all the Latin American markets. And if you had told me that I would be able to open global markets for a breakthrough natural supplement company, I would have thought you were smoking something. And that's exactly what I am doing. But in Spanish, there's a word for kick. And I used to do 1,000 kicks a day. If you want to be a champion, you have to practice more than everybody else. So I threw 1,000 kicks a day. And so if you say, well, what is the word for phone call in Spanish? It's called llamada. The word for kick in Spanish is patada. So they rhyme. I think it's pretty cute. So I just transferred that discipline of 1,000 patadas a day to 1,000 llamadas a day. I don't think I do 1,000, but you know, you can see the analogy here. So you want to take action. And like I say, your job is to pique that person's interest and get them either to a three-way call or to a webinar. And then, you know, we take it from there to go to a live event or like that. And then once they come in, to get them into training. Okay. So you just know that if you talk to 50 people, I bet you will get your three. Mike Akagi was about to drown financially. He was going down for the third time. He was 10 months behind in his mortgage. He was a college adjunct professor, and they were cutting his semester hours. I didn't know the down economy. This was late 2008. Had hit the university so bad, and they did indeed. And so they were cutting his hours, and uh, you know, he was just about to go under, and he decided once he finally looked at this, he had a negative opinion of network marketing too, and the person just kept calling him saying, you got to look at this, it's different. And when he saw that he thought Kyani was different, especially the products, he says, okay, Mary Louise, do this with me. If it doesn't work, he says, I'm going to do 12 hours a day. And if I don't make at least $1,000 my first month, you will never hear from me again about network marketing. I said, okay, Mike, let's go. Well, Mike did 9 to 9, and he called people 12 hours a day. He made $10,000 his first month. I dabbled at it and made two. So I would say if you just talk to 50 people in your first month, you will get your three. Absolutely get your three. Now, if you're like Troy Rader, he already knows this. Okay, so he's already gotten his three. So you want to plan and you want to be accountable. See, when my coach told me, Mary Louise, you want to win nationals? He said, I threw 1,000 kicks a day. He says, you take those combinations of kicks that you need to master, and you make a chart and you write them down, and you do 100 of those, 100 of those, 100 of those, 100 of those, till you got 1,000 kicks. Took me 2.5 hours. I checked them off. You need to be accountable about what you're planning and how you work your plan and how you fulfill on your plan. So you want to have buddies. You want to say, okay, coach, I'm going to contact 5 people today. Here's my list, and I'll complete with you tomorrow morning about what we produced out of that. So you actually want to build in teamwork and accountability with somebody. So if you're not being successful with your conversations, then you work on it and say, okay, let's practice. So what are you saying to this person? And then I might say, well, you know, here's what I said to somebody. I met somebody in the grocery store, and she says, Mary Louise, I haven't seen you in so long. It'd been 2 years. What are you up to? Now, is that an opening or is that an opening? And I would say, well, you know what? We moved up to Sundance, but I want to tell you something. I am having the financial success of my lifetime, and you're going to die when I tell you what it is. I said, you know, I've done several network marketing companies before, but I found one that had life-changing products, but they have a whole new model of compensation, and you know what? It works. And I feel like I've won the network marketing lottery. And I love the products because I was, you know, once I hit 60, I knew I was on the decline. I didn't have the energy I had before. And these products have really made me feel like I was 30 or 40 again. And I didn't even say you ought to do it. You ought to try the products. Well, we she shared some stuff with me. I shared a little bit more with her. She went home. She told her husband to call me. And that guy is now a green diamond in my organization. So, you know, you want to share something that works and you want to listen to them and you want to see what's important to them. If she had said to me, oh my gosh, do you know Larry, her husband, has got to have a shoulder replacement. You know, that injury he had when he was young. He's just had so much pain. Well, I would have shared about the products in a second because you know what? Larry didn't have to have that surgery. He got off of that Celebrex, which is life-threatening side effects, and after 3 weeks on the products, he had no more pain and inflammation and arthritis in that shoulder. So, you know, if somebody shares something with me about products or illness, I'm going to share the products. If they tell me, if she had said, well, you know, the economy has hit us so hard because, you know, Larry is an author and a publisher, and that industry has been incredibly damaged by the down economy. Why, I would have said, I've got something that works. Have Larry call me. Okay, so if you're not being successful in your conversations, practice with somebody else and see what has worked for them. So you want to get people interested enough to get on three-way calls, webinars, face-to-face, go to lunch, go to breakfast, go to dinner. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, where you probably should eat if you're going to do business. You have to serve people food. So let's just look. How quickly could you grow if you contacted just one person every day? I would think you'd have to be, I don't know, brain injured to not be able to do, I don't care how busy you are, talk to one person a day. I'm not talking about calling somebody on the phone. I'm talking about sitting next to somebody on a plane, on a, you know, you're in the grocery store, at the, I don't know, the lady who waited on me at the restaurant last night, she was such a great manager. They were out of what I'd ordered after I spent a great deal of time figuring out what I wanted. And then they came back and said they were out of it. And the manager came over and I said, you know what? After we talked a minute, I said, you got a great personality. I think you do well in the business I'm in. And she said, well, what is that? And I said, well, let me just give you my card. You're working. Take a look at this website. You call me. I could do you some good. I'm a global leader with them. That's all I said to her. She's already emailed me. Okay. So you could do one a day. And let's say, so you're only working 6 days. You take Sunday off or Saturday, whatever you take off. And you have 6 contacts that week. Let's say 4, they just didn't buy. 2, they said, okay, I'll take a look at this. And you take them on to a 3-way. I promise you, if you get people onto these webinars, Kyani is so powerful that one of them will enroll. In the week, after 3 weeks, you have your 3. One more person enrolls in your organization, your Jade in 31 days, and you're onto it. And then what you want to do is you want to just duplicate that Jade factory. So your first month, let's just look at how powerful that is. You now have 4 after your first month, plus you, that's 5. 5 times 4, that's a 2,000 points, so you hit Jade. Okay, the 400 points is for the 569 pack. I don't think that's too big of an investment. I've made over $2 million in 6 years on my $570 investment. Okay, so I recommend now, can they come in at $40 and just buy the triangle pack? Yeah, it produces just the 100 points. That's all you need from the first day you come in to the highest rank. They never increase your personal volume requirements to earn all the bonuses and commissions the company pays. But people are going to make money if they come into 569 pack. When people make money, they stay in the business. So next month, 4 of you get 4 more. You just continue this. There's 16 times the 400. Now that's 6,000 points. Plus, you have 5 from the month before on auto ship, the 100 points. That's 500 points more. So you're now well above the pearl level. The average income for a pearl in residual, not including your recruitment bonuses and your extra special promotional bonuses, just your residual income on pearl is $750 a month. So the next month, there are 16 of you. You do your 4 that month, and just keep multiplying the numbers. In 4 months, you're a diamond level. Okay? Now, you could say there are no perfect systems, but you know what? This is not hard to do. Anybody who could do it. I've worked the numbers. If you bring in one person at that 569 pack a month, one, and that one person takes on the commitment to say, okay, I'm yours for a year. I promise I will bring in one every month for a year. 12 new distributors in a year at the 569 pack. Swear on a stack of Bibles, I'm going to do it. I will keep going until I do. You could do more than that, but I'm going to at least do one. I've got the numbers worked out. If everybody takes that on, in a year, your red diamond making over $50,000 a month is kind of worth doing. So that's your business plan. So let's just look at the skills that you need to do it. Peak and pass, your job until you, now, do I recommend you go on to kyaniscience.com and learn about your products, watch every video, read every word on there, then go back and do it again? Do I recommend that? Yes. Maybe you might even want to go to pubmed.gov, the U.S. National Medical Library online, put in the search box tocotrienols, take a look at what you've really got to offer people. Backed by over 100,000 research projects, our Nitro FX product. And those two products, the Sunset and the Nitro FX, are literally changing the biochemistry of disease and aging in the human body in terms of cardiovascular and brain health, which, run the whole body. Okay, so you want to learn your game, but you're not going to know that from the first month you're in the business. So you just want to say, you know what? I've got somebody I want you to talk to. Being very successful in a global business, we're just opening this area. I want you to look at this with me. And then your job is to pass your prospects to your upline leaders. And then we will schedule either three-way call or face-to-face or webinar. And we're here to do this with you. Okay. So don't start telling everybody everything from the beginning, because that generally turns them off. So to the business person, you want to talk business. This opportunity is literally worth millions of dollars. You have a history of success. So I thought of you. I want you to meet a woman who's doing this. So I'm working with this leader. Could we take a few minutes of your time to meet her over the internet? Like that. So you want to, and if they start asking you questions, you guys are pros. You probably know this more than I do. Say, you know what? Let's ask that question tonight. All right. So the type 2, the health problem I've been struggling with, or if they've mentioned a health problem, I'm going to say, look, I started on these amazing nutritional products. And in my career, I've been studying this. I've written a book about it. See, I can say that, but you could share my story if you want to. I know this woman who wrote a book on supplementation for health and high performance and anti-aging. And she says that in all of her career in 40 years, she's never seen products give these kinds of results, and it's backed by more mainstream science than she's seen in her career. And you can just share that with that person. I know you're health conscious and you're always looking to make a difference there. You need to learn about these products. So your health and well-being people, they might be interested in that kind of thing. So, and by the way, there's a great business opportunity attached to it. And just as innovative and life-changing as the products are, so is this company, and their model of compensation is revolutionary in the industry and transforming it. So, and then once you get your own testimonial, sharing your stories, they say information tells and stories sell. So, people can relate more to you sharing your wins and your troubles and how this has helped you. It's much more enrolling than reading them research. Okay, so and people respond to making sure that they know that this is urgent. You're looking for a few great leaders right now. They're getting in at this level in your organization. and that you're going to be building through these 3 lines of distribution. They can, be leaders. So, you want to let them know that it'd be a really good thing for them to look now at it. And then I've never asked people to do me a favor. Other people use that. I've never liked that much. Do me a favor, try these products. I would say, you know what? Uh, I've got some products here. I am really well. If you'll come to a webinar and get a little education on the products, I want you to value what I'm giving you, because this is worth $40. And I would like for you to use this and see if it makes a difference for you, because uh, I like to see that, that if we can have, other people helped by your testimonial. I want to see if this is really going to help you with that problem, because I've seen other people be helped by it. But I always require people to come to a presentation beforehand. Okay. And I can send this to you. This is just like some more examples, especially people in business. We estimate that this region would produce at least, $1 million a month in volume within the next year. And that means leaders are earning $40,000 to $50,000 a month and driving 60,000. This has actually happened to me. I'm actually making more than 50,000 a month, and I'm driving more than a $60,000 a month car, or $60,000 car that Kyani's paying for. So we want people who have experience, a history of success in sales and marketing, and have a large network of people, and we'd be glad to train you like that. I know somebody down in Mexico who runs an ad in the paper, and he says, we're a company, American companies coming in with some products. We're training people. We need a sales force, and it's going to require your $500 investment like that. That's hard in Mexico, by the way. But they say we're creating structures in which all of the salespeople are earning commissions off of everyone's work. And you know what? He's being very successful with it. So listening is what has helped me so much, of listening to what people need and speaking to what they need. So whatever pain they're expressing, like I lost my job last week, we're about to lose our house, my husband was diagnosed with cancer, I just got a diagnosis of diabetes, then I'm going to speak to that. And Kyani really is the answer to a lot of pain in life. Okay. Here's what no means. It means no right now. That's it. It's not no forever. I said no to Kyani 6 months before Mike asked me. Somebody else came up to my home in Sundance and, did the whole pitch with me, and I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. It was Mike, my dear friend, who really pushed me. He just pulled out that friendship card and used it, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. So, people have too much, they get a couple of no's and they get discouraged. No just doesn't mean anything to me. It just means no right now. Doesn't mean no forever. Mike said no too for months to that same guy. And then he didn't have any other options. And then he said yes. It's a yes that's life changing. So just keep asking until they say yes. I learned that as a kid. My mother said I was like a bulldog with a bone. So breakthroughs come if you keep playing the game. You sit on the sidelines and you'll never be a champion. So the fortune is in the follow-up. So after you've peaked and passed, get them to a presentation. They say, you know what? I'm going to give this one a go because I trust you. I can't tell you how many of my friends say, okay, I see what you're doing. I trust you. Show me how to do this. Then you want to get them trained. If you don't train people, you've got a revolving door. You've got a sales job. You always have to get the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. And, so what you want to do, what we're really doing is producing leaders. And my husband did transformational leadership courses in communication and productivity and human development in 75 countries for 40 years. So I got a little bit in my repertoire on leadership and communication. So we can do that kind of training. So busy is not necessarily producing results. I know a lot of people, and I've really been looking at that. Even people that are coming to presentations and they don't bring anybody, and I'm like, I really think it's good you're here because you're staying in the conversation. But your job is to bring somebody. That's how you're going to grow your business, or bring somebody to a webinar, or bring somebody to a phone call. When my sponsor said, Mary Louise, here's your job, bring your contacts to me, I said, okay. And Mike was in Hawaii. The guy who sponsored him lived in Salt Lake. I called Steve every day with somebody. And sometimes I said, can you come to my house for lunch? I'm inviting my friend over. I'll just, make a little salad and soup, and there we go. And he does a presentation. And that's how I learned to do presentations, was watching him. So never ask your upline leader to call you, to call somebody for you. What you want to do is go there, learn it like that. And every time you invite somebody to a presentation, you go with them, and you're right there calling them afterwards. Okay, so you want to be doing the right things. Peek and pass, get them to a presentation, ask them to choose. Okay, be accountable. Plan your week, plan your days, look and see where you're being successful. If you're not, start maybe doing conversations with your leaders and getting something until it works. Okay, contact at least one person a day, and you will build a foundation of a business that is going to be unlimited and uncapped in producing true residual income. And that's what I've been doing. So I can say that absolutely, because I started from ground zero, didn't expect to have success, just trying to help my friend out, and now I'm producing hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm in the upper 1% of income earners in the world with Kyani, and that was somebody who has had no education, experience, or success in sales and marketing. Okay, so your dream team is your foundation, and then you want to go work with them to do the same. So you want to talk about Kyani as being different, because we are. And that I like the iPad model because it changed computing forever, and so are we transforming the industry. Kyani is now attracting, like you all, a lot of industry leaders. They are really seeing that the plan is different. So funny, this leader who was in a coffee company, Gano Life, used to be Gano Excel, they went bankrupt, now Gano Life's going bankrupt. So he was looking for another coffee company that was a binary. Why? Because it's what he knows. His fiance joined Kyani 3 months ago. Thank goodness for women being strong nags. And she just nagged him until he went and visited the company. And he spent 5 hours on the plan. And he got it. He got it that we are a new model in the industry of network marketing. He got how solid our owners are. He saw their holdings. That's different from just seeing a picture on the internet. He drove around the farms. He saw the immensity of it. He says they've got to have $100 million in equipment on this farm, and 500 employees, and a whole processing plant for potato. He's like, we did the potato plant tour. He was amazed. The guy was like, okay, these guys are billionaires in annual income. That's a little different from billionaires on paper. And he just got how solid we were, that the plan was a new model. And if you look at a chair, it's got 4 legs. If that chair was missing a leg, you sat down on it, you'd take a fall. And that's what being in most network marketing companies is like. If your corporate team is corrupt or inept, so they don't have integrity, they don't have ability, that's like a leg of the chair missing. You've got to have the financial funding. Number one reason why 96% of these companies fail is insufficient financial funding. They're calling Kyani the most financially secure launch in the history of the industry. You've got to have products that actually do make a difference. I don't think people get too passionate about buying clubs. Oh, yeah, these are products that are pretty good, that you're going to buy them anyway. Buy from yourself. Pardon me. And make some commissions just doesn't grab my passion. So you've got to have products that make a difference. When people's blood sugar levels go down, they get off of insulin, they get off of high blood pressure meds, they get off of pain medication, they get off of sleep medication, they get off of antidepressants. You know what? They're saving hundreds of dollars a month and they feel human and alive again. Are they ever going to quit taking the products? No. That's why we have the high retention. So you can, okay, there's another leg of the chair. We got products that make a difference. You've got to have a plan that pays people, that doesn't play takeaway. And, let's have you build up and then take it away from you. That is, I just can't even imagine the discouragement of that. So Kyani doesn't do any of that. They fixed everything that has never worked in the industry. And anytime they change something, they've given us more. That's their track record for 9.5 years. Next year, including our administrative period, we're 10 years old. Most of these companies fail in the first 5 years, mostly in the first 1 to 3 years. And that we're 10 years old and they've made it better and better and better. At least these other plans within 10 years, they've already changed the plan twice by then and taken half of your income away if you were one of the original builders. Kyani does none of that. So our plan simply pays people for the work they do. There's the other leg. And then let's look at timing. I'm on the CEO Council. We did 300 million last year. We're increasing by 40% in 2014, 40% a year. This year, we're at 50% rate a year. That exponential growth factor, with those numbers, we're going to be $1 billion company in the next few years. They're going to make many multi-millionaires. I'm already one of them. And anybody who's been working this already is. But anybody who wants it, we really have only scratched the surface in the U.S. especially. This has been our smallest market, but you know what? We have now doubled monthly volumes in the U.S. the first 6 months of this year. So the U.S. is now starting to grow. So when you check off all of those 4 boxes, you see Kyani's a perfect storm. It's a strong, solid structure built to last. And I want la única y la última, the last one and the only one of my lifetime. You know all the grumbles about the network. You got to agree with them. And then I just say, yep, yep, that's true. Only 1% earned enough to pay for their product. And, like that. But you know what? Kyani's different. Yeah, I know that 50% of distributors quit all the rest of the companies in the first year, and 90% are gone in at least 5. But you know what? Kyani's got a 60% retention for 5 years. Isn't that interesting? We're different. And that's what I just keep going. Okay? And this is built to last for the masses. Okay? Just keep going over those 4 points. Exceptional funding and incredible honest management. The products work. They're unique. They're patented. The compensation plan is revolutionary. It serves the masses instead of the few. Kyani is in full-blown global momentum. Your timing is once in a lifetime. This is not the company of your grandparents. We've invented a new way to talk about it. It's total team marketing, because why? We get paid on all volumes of sales like any other company, like any other business. Fortunes are made through training. So you want to teach this system. You don't want to work alone and do it all yourself. Don't talk just to sick people, even though these products are going to help them. I always do that too. But if you want to build a business, talk to people who want to have unlimited, uncapped residual wealth. Talk to those first. Make time for the sick people. Make sure they get on the products. So prioritize your list and then take massive action. Get your dream team going. If you talk to the easiest people to approach, you're going to get the least powerful people first. You want to talk to the ones that make you gulp a little bit, that are hard for you, because those are successful people. But you want to share Kyani's vision too, which is to build Kyani into the largest and the best network marketing company in the history of the industry. And they're going to do that by empowering everyone. the other 98% who didn't have the chance. From any time you come in, any position you're in, you have the chance to become a multimillionaire with Kyani. And I think it's a fun game. You know, I played Taekwondo. I I won that game. I was a 20-year running U.S. national gold medalist. I was a 9-time world champion. Um, did I grow my self-confidence? Absolutely. Did it strengthen me in so many different ways? Yes, I'm really thankful for that, but I didn't make any money. I spent a lot. I go up through the ranks in Kyani and I'm making a lot. I love this game of Kyani, and it is a game for me. And part of my game is not just making money for myself, but how many people can I change the quality of their life? That's what I'm after. And I am into making a difference, first and foremost. So you want to start right, do your business builder pack. People are going to make money. We are a product company. I am product passionate, but I'm also an industry geek now. I'm not just a product geek. I studied the industry a bit. I'm not quite as passionate about that as I am about the science behind our products, but I'm real interested in something that works like this, regardless of the economy. Actually, network marketing does much better in a down economy. I've heard all this stuff. Oh, another crash is coming and all the doomsday and everything. It's like, okay, I'll be ready, but you know what? I'm just going to keep creating unlimited, uncapped wealth. That's what I'm going to just keep creating. Okay, I just don't like all the scare stuff. Anyways, I love having a garden of belief. And you know, I've done a vision board. I cut out magazine pictures, and you know what? When I go back and look at my little vision board, I have gotten everything on that board. I'm going to have to do another new one. I'm going to have to create some bigger vision because I've done everything I put on that board. Um, so I love doing that stuff. But you don't want to have that be your only action. You want to take the action I've talked about today. So your Kyani business is your garden. And as you take action, your garden will grow. And you know, if you take care of the plants that you put in the ground, they become beautiful, and they feed your eyes with a feast of beauty. Every time I look at my flowers, but you don't water them, and they die. And so I would just say to you, you know, you got to take care of what you plant, and not just your own vision, but you know, I do feel a responsibility to others. You need that basic product knowledge. Go to kyaniscience.com. I'm not going to get into this. Is actually a presentation on the products, and this is basic stuff that you're going to learn. I just sent you, Troy, by the way, a really nice video. It's got some good testimonials. Some athletes, one who's a MMA fighter. There's an NFL player and a NBA player. There's a video on. I'm going to get that and send it on to you. So this is Micah Kagi, my sponsor, my friend of 20 years, and kind of the poster guy for Nitro Effects and Nitro Extreme. People are just going to have higher performance, and you don't have to be a high performance athlete to want high performance. So that's the quick start training. Now you can open up your mics, ask me some questions if you like. About talked out here. Troy?
Yes, Mary Louise. Yes, this is Troy. I've got a bunch of, I've got a friend in town I'm going to do a presentation for in the morning. He's got a bunch of young people working for him. And he asked me to ask you before we do it. There's about 10 of them he thinks want to enroll. And they're in their early 20s, all of them, maybe late teens. And he wants to know if they can get in just by purchasing 100 QV and the $40 because he feels that it'd be more, more what they could do.
Sure. I would say whatever it takes for you to get started, get started. I wouldn't wait till you save it up. And that might be hard for a young person. So yeah, $40. It's a one-time fee, by the way, not an annual fee. and they just purchased the Triangle of Health. They're interested in high performance. My granddaughter just graduated from law school, and she got to sell the products to a lot of students because they noticed she could stay in the library for many more hours and stay focused and remember the stuff so much more. So students are great. They're generally working $10 to $15 an hour jobs if they're lucky. So this is something they can do. It just takes more people. So instead of 5 people, you plus 4, to get to Jade, it'd take 20. So, but so you need the 2,000 points, and if you've got 20 people with 100 points, then you've got your Jade. So it just takes them longer to get there, but they're also pretty energetic, and if they can get in that easily, and that's what they have to do in some of these other countries too. That would be a third of their income, just that. Sometimes a half of their income. So that's what they do, and they start making a little money, and so that pays for their auto ship the next month. That's what they want to get to. Now, I'm just going to kind of spill the beans here. At the convention, they're going to come out with a new customer program. I think is another brilliant marketing move. So Kyani's lagged a little bit behind in marketing, but we're going to see there's going to be a new social media program come out. And then they've got this new customer program coming out. They've also got some new marketing tools. I'm not going to spill the beans on those, but they're good. They're really, really, really good. And, it's going to make it really easy and very duplicatable for young people who don't know how to do presentations. So I'll give you a little hint. And it's going to be very, very duplicatable marketing system, and it's very professional and well done. But this program of customers is called Experience More with 4. So if you get 4 customers on the Triangle Pack, your auto ship is free, including the shipping. I think that's huge. So it's going to stimulate right action and customer sales. But I would say that group who's concerned with getting that auto ship paid for, what they want to do, all those young people have parents who are sick. So there's just more cardiovascular disease, more cancer, more everything right now than ever in the history of the human race. So they've got parents who will come in too as distributors because they've been losing their jobs and all that. So yeah, I'd say bring them on in with the $40 and just the qualifying amount of the auto ship, and they're in business, and to just go for it. You're going to see those young people. There's groups down in Mexico that are really, really good, and they're hot on the social media stuff. So they're gonna be powerful. You'll watch them go.
Very good, thank you. One other comment here. I'm glad you did this presentation because the Jade qualification, I was ignoring that because I hit Jade my first day, my first few hours, and but nobody else is. I think I personally sponsored about 11
Yeah.
or 12 people
So
in the last 3 days. So but they're not doing it. I've got to tell them to write off my volume that I've created. Now I gave away a few people here and there, but I still think I sponsored 11. But I gave away 3 people. But what I need to do is I need to have those people use that volume so they can qualify for Jade and get that
exactly.
$600 bonus
Yeah.
locked in.
Now here's the basic on qualifying for rank. Let me just get in here. I'm gonna exit out of this. I would have to look for it too much. Well, you know what? Here's the comp plan training. It's right here. Let me put this up. Okay. These are pay gates. Let me go to ranks. Okay. So if you look at ranks, let's say you've got Jade. So you have a total group volume for Jade is 2,000. So you can use up to 60%. Now, I want to be clear about this. You do not need as a minimum in your power leg 60%. You can use up to 60% of your power leg to qualify for rank. By the way, you're a professional in the industry. You know that's very generous. Because a lot of people, they'll get a runaway leg. Somebody's a powerful professional leader, And yet they can't just rely on that and only use that and achieve everything themselves. They've got to build those other two legs themselves. So the 40% has to occur outside the power leg. So if you look at the 60-40 rule, so they could count up to 1,200 of the 2,000 points they need to reach Jade or any rank. This is true for every rank. After the rank of Sapphire, you need a third leg. Now, I recommend you start with 3 legs, so your third leg will never hold you back. So you don't want a leg lagging behind. It's too small and it's always holding you back. So you want to think about developing 3 legs. Now, could you have 35, 35, 30? Absolutely. Could you have 40, 20, 30, like that, or so 40, 20, 40? Yes, absolutely. But you can only use 60% to qualify for rank from your power leg. 40% has to come out with a minimum after the rank of Sapphire of 5% in the leg outside the 2 largest legs. Now, the reason why they talk about that, the leg outside the largest leg and the 2 legs outside the largest 2 legs, uh, uh, just because you're not limited to 3. So you wouldn't say the largest, the next largest, and the smallest. You would say outside the largest leg and the outside the 2 largest legs. Or if you have only 3, it's going to be your smallest leg. So 5% minimum in that leg. So, if let's say you want to hit diamond, requires 100,000 times 100 points. That's 1,000 people in your organization. You brought in 11, but those 11 are out there. See, if you do not want to be the recruitment machine, you now want to switch gears. Now, it's fine to keep recruiting. I do it too. And I think it keeps the life in your organization. But you want to very much be a 50% trainer, 50% recruiter. So you've got to empower these other people. You got to do this quick start, send it to them, get them to get their 3. You have a Jade factory now. And once you get a Jade factory, why? You get 5 people who are Jade. What are you? You're Sapphire. Okay, just 5 people who are Jade, you're Sapphire. Okay, you get, 25 people who are Jade. How many is that? Somebody do the math really quick. Maybe you're Ruby now. Okay? So what you want to think is Jade Factory. You help your people now get their 3. And then teach them that. Okay, you got your 3. Help your 3 get their 3. And you got a Jade Factory going. Okay, so you just keep helping the 3 get the 3. Keep helping the 3 get the 3. And the rest of it takes care of themselves. But that's the whole thing. So if I were to copy this chart and I put it there, so let's have a little problem. It takes 100,000 points, approximately 1,000 people on the 100 points, the triangle of health, to get to diamond. And let's say in your largest leg you've got 75,000 in volume. In your small leg you've got 4,500 in volume. And in your middle leg, you've got 50,000 in volume. Did you make diamond? Anybody know?
How much was in your outside leg?
The smallest leg is 4,500. The second leg, what did I say, was 50,000 and 75,000 in your biggest leg. Did you make diamond?
No.
No, you did not, because your smallest leg was not the 5% minimum. So I would copy this and put it on your desktop. Now, when you first start Kyani, the very first landmark you're going to hit is a pay gate. So now if you go up here to the pay gates, okay, and I know the requirements, I'm at pay gate 10, all right? So if I want pay gate 11, I know I've got, and now this is based, the ranks, of course, is based on qualifying volume, which is always a little more than your commissionable volume. Pay gates are based on CV or commissionable volume. When you get into your back office and you click on view, after you're looking at volume totals, you're going to see what your volume QV and CV is in each leg. So if you have this chart saved on your desktop and the rank chart, the first thing you're going to do is hit a pay gate, because all you need is 2 people on one leg, 1 person on another. So as you're enrolling people, you need to know what these pay gate requirements are so that you can make the most money you want to make. So if you know you've enrolled 11 people, well, here you've got 1,200 points on pay gate 2. So if you know that that you need at least 700 in one leg, 500 in the other, you want to be thinking about opening up pay gate 2, that other 7%. Okay, so you've got to know what are the requirements. So the first thing you're going to do is hit a pay gate. Second thing you're going to do is hit a rank. So you're going to hit pay gate 1, then you're going to hit Jade, then you're going to hit pay gate 2, then you're going to hit Pearl. Like that, you're going to hit pay gate, rank, pay gate, rank, pay gate, rank. So I'm not anywhere near double red diamond. I'm looking at pay gate 11. Once I hit pay gate 11, so I'm lacking a little in CV. Sometimes I hit the combination. I've got the 40,000 on the small leg handled. I'm way over that. I'm 100,000. But the combination, I've got that handled. I'm a little soft on the CV on my power leg of 1,000,000 points. Okay, so I've got to focus on pay gate 11. Once I get pay gate 11, I'm not going to look at pay gate 11. Now I'm going to look at what it takes. What are the qualifying landmarks for my next rank double red diamond? Okay, so I would save both of those charts, and I sent this PowerPoint to you too. I would save both of those charts to your desktop, because you'll never hit a goal you don't set. So you got to know what is your goal.
Absolutely. I am so glad I was on this fast start training tonight.
Good,
So glad.
good.
Hey, Mary Lou,
Yeah,
can you send me those 2 PowerPoints, please?
absolutely. I'll send you all 3.
Okay.
We've got
Yeah,
some presentation.
Karen, can you send them to me too?
I will indeed.
Thank you.
Any questions, Karen?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Well, being talked to death is a
Processing.
terrible death. So I think we should stop at this point. That's enough for one time. And Troy, if you would like to do this again, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.